What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got to wrap up season number 5. It'll be our first time going to a bowl game. We would have went to one last year, but of course, we were suspended. We were on probation, basically, because we had some knuckleheads on the squad, all right? But we cleaned things up. We cleaned the program up, and now we will be heading to our first bowl game, right? So the conference championship games look like this. Eastern Michigan Bowling Green, I believe that's the MAC championship. You see what's going on in the SEC. Then you got the Big 12, ACC, and here goes the winners, all right? Eastern Michigan, they beat up on Bowling Green. Then you got LSU, they survive, and they are still number 1. Nebraska ends up beating Oklahoma, and now they're ranked number 2. Virginia Tech beats Florida State. And then when it comes to the Conference USA Championship, you have Houston losing to UAB. And that means that we are going to be playing Houston. That's right. We got a game versus Houston. I believe we already played Houston, right? Right. So, hey, we're going to Texas, and we're going to be taking on Houston in the Fort Worth Bowl in Fort Worth, Texas. All right. So, it should be a good game. I'm expecting the W. You know what I'm saying? One issue with being an independent, sometimes sometimes you got to win more games to get to a better bowl game and play better competition. All right. So, Mr. Joey White, senior halfback for OU. He is your Heisman Trophy winner. Congratulations to him. Let's check out who are the top 25 teams in the nation. LSU is number 1. Nebraska is now number 2, like we said. Notre Dame. Then you got Texas A&M. Oklahoma drops to 5. USC is now number 6. Penn State, followed by Tennessee, Virginia Tech. And then you got Fresno State, who are 11-0 when they finally cracked the top 10. Then you got Iowa. You got Georgia. Or actually, they fall back. They were 9. Now they're number 10. Yep. But hey, whatever. They're still in the top 10. Undefeated season. Of course, they don't play the toughest competition in the world. Their toughest opponent would be like Nevada and maybe Utah State and like Boise. And this is right before Boise got really, really good, even though Boise State is ranked, as you see right there. So Maxwell Award winner is Brown from FSU. Then you got Hunter. He wins the Benerick Award. Then you got QB of the Year. We finished 6th. That's interesting because you're about to see what comes up later on. Okay, Henderson is the best running back in the country. I don't know how a running back wins the Heisman, doesn't win the Maxwell, and then doesn't win best running back trophy either. So hey, it is what it is. I don't know how things work. I'm just letting you know what happened during this season. Remington goes to the big fellas up front. Then you got the Lombardi goes to the big fellas on the other side of the ball. Linebacker of the year is the homie Russell. I'm not hating on Russell at all, but I'm thinking, yo, we got to have somebody in there. My linebacker core is for real, especially Jonathan Taylor. And no, Jonathan Taylor? Who is Jonathan Taylor? Jonathan Parker. I'm thinking about fantasy football. I'm sorry. Anyways, though, Jonathan Parker, he should have been linebacker, at least in contention. I don't think there's 12 linebackers better than him, all right? And you see it, Coach Dawkins, baby. We almost got Coach of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. So, All-Americans, it's going to be a whole bunch of SEC representatives in there. You also got Arizona State. You got USF represented at the receiver position. That's big time for their program. Hopefully, we can get somebody in here. I'm hoping on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what's going on. Our defense was balling. We had linebackers that were harassing quarterbacks, linebackers that were eating in the backfield. And we have, so far, nobody at the linebacker spot. And that's the way it's going to be. Corners were kind of shaky. I like Hudson's game. Scott Moore, he had a bunch of interceptions. But, hey, they hating on us. But we do got the 2nd best quarterback in the nation according to the All-Americans. I'm just saying. 2nd team All-American, but the 6th best quarterback in the best quarterback award race. I mean, hey, I don't understand everything like I just said, but hey, I'm going to accept the honor. Of course, last year he was 1st team All-American. Hopefully he can lead us to our first bowl game as well, and Lester will go down in history. I'm not going to retire his jersey or anything like that. Somebody else will be wearing number 2, because number 2 is just too much of a solid number. You know what I'm saying? No, somebody else will be wearing it. I'm just letting you know. Anyways, man, let's check out some of the stats. So Lester, he had a QB rating of 183.9, completed 129 passes on 246 attempts, over 3,100 yards passing, 26 TDs, and 15 interceptions, averaging 265 yards, 0.4 per game. He also led the team in rushing yards and carries, 151 carries for 893 yards, 12 TDs as well. Lemon finished with 840 with 11 TDs, and then you see Rodgers and Bradshaw. Bradshaw's last touchdown was basically Lester getting popped and pitching it to him the last game because he's a senior and I wanted him to at least have one touchdown to his credit. One touchdown in his last official college game of the regular season. Because if we're in a dogfight versus Houston, he may not touch the field. I'm just letting you know. I love my seniors. You know what I'm saying? They supply us with good motivation and leadership. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win some ball games. This ain't Pee-wee where everybody plays. We're grown men out here. Okay. Jonathan Parker, look at the number. 66 tacks, 26 for loss. We're going to check out the rest of the stats for the whole nation. We're going to see where he ranks when it comes to tackles for loss and sacks. 26 tackles for loss, 12 sacks, and 4 interceptions. I don't know how 12 linebackers are better than him, but hey, I get it. Whatever it is, what it is. Travis, he also had 4 interceptions. Hudson with 3. Scott Moore with 3. The homie Bonnet, he also had 3 as well. So, the number 1 QB as far as QB rating is concerned is Billy Peterson. Then you got Patrick Mansfield. He completed 318 passes on 484 attempts. He also led the league, or the country, I should say, in yards with 4,200 plus. 41 TDs to a handful of guys. You see it right there. So, guys are lighting it up. So maybe I got to throw more touchdown passes. But, we like to run the football even when our running game isn't really working that well. The most TDs, Lester was almost there for the most TDs, man. He finished 5th, so maybe that hurt him for the best QB. And I know that we get trophies and award at the quarterback position because of our running ability. I know that, but I'm just saying I think it's kind of odd. He finishes 6th, but then he's second-team All-American. I think you should think it's odd too. But I'm not going to tell you how to feel. And I'm not going to tell you what to think. Wilson, he broke off a 94-yard touchdown. That means that he had the longest run this season. Calvin Parker, he led the league. He led the country. I apologize. He led the country with the most rushing yards per game. New Mexico receiver Charles Williams, he had over 108 yards. He had exactly 108 receptions. Finished 20 behind the number 1 receiver in yardage. He is number 2. And then when it comes to catches or yards per catch, you have Anthony Anderson. He had 17.3. Most TDs goes to Gavin Massey or whatever his name was. He was the first team All-American from USF. All right. So now let's move on to the big fellas, and we're going to backtrack to the big fellas real quick. I want to see who gave up the most sacks. And we had somebody only gave up no sacks, as you can see, and he had 1 pancake. So maybe I was a little bit too hard on the O-line, and maybe I rolled out a little bit too much. It's a habit, and that's what I do, and I think that's kind of just how the game is designed. We're going to find out next year, because Opie should be our starting quarterback next year. He will definitely be penciled in. We're going to try to recruit another quarterback as well. We do have that athlete playing quarterback who got some snaps this past season, but Opie, he is no runner. He is no scrambler. So we may look to switch up some things when it comes to our game plan and so on and so forth, man. So you saw that the homie Jonathan Parker, man, he led, the whole nation with tackles for loss, man, was tops and sacks. He was a beast, but hey, we ain't getting no love. I'm going to let it go. I apologize. But that is going to do it for today's episode. Hope you guys are looking forward to the bowl game. That should drop tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Until we meet again, my friends, I hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day. Peace, love, hot sauce.